All right, Carly, thank you. We're getting your kiddos to get ready to go to college, and going off to college is an exciting time for both students and their parents, but it can also be a little emotional for them.
I was just talking about this just about 20 minutes ago. Dr. Sarah Getch from Kansas City University is joining us now with some tips for parents to work through their feelings during this transition. Dr. Getch, great to have you back with us again this morning.
Oh, I love being here. You know that.
And so I was describing a little of my anxiousness that I was feeling earlier, but I guess it is a different phenomenon because, you know, you're excited for your child to be going off to college, yet you're going to be sad and a little bit anxious to see them go. I mean, that's a thing, right?
It's a thing. It's a real thing. You know, there's a lot of change happening during this time period. Change for you, change for your child too. And it's okay to be sad in that moment and to have those emotions. But it's also important to remember that's temporary. You know, you're not going to feel that way forever. In fact, most parents say that within a month or two they feel a little bit better, and by 6 to 9 months they've really moved on from those initial feelings of grief.
Okay.
Yeah. How can parents work through those emotions? I know, like, for some parents, they're sad in the beginning, or maybe they're just fine and they're like, see ya. And then maybe later it sinks in, like, oh, I'm sad now.
Yeah.
You know, how do they work through those things?
I think the best way for parents to sort of cope during this time period is to prepare. And so when you're with your children at home, you're in a certain lifestyle and you're in a certain routine, and you're getting a lot of pleasure and mastery from interacting with your children and help and being a good, successful parent. Well, now those roles are going to shift and change, and so we have to be planful about what we're going to fill that time with. So how are we going to continue to have space in our life that gives us that good, positive reinforcement, makes us feel good, and makes us feel like we accomplished something?
Yeah.
That's really, I mean, I didn't even think about that, so you're going to have to replace it. What about the difference between each parent? I mean, is both of them affected the same, or maybe less, somebody more? What do you think?
Well, you know, I'm a psychologist, so I'll say everybody's unique, right? Yeah. Everybody's a little bit different. But I think it affects both parents, right? Because both parents' roles are changing and shifting. And there's going to be a new phase of their life and a new phase for their child's life. So I would say that both parents are definitely being affected and need to be planful as well.
Okay.
I like that. Okay, I have two questions. One, how can the student be prepared for this? Because typically they're excited, but sometimes it's later on they realize they were very dependent on their parent, and now they have to be independent a little bit more. And then the second one is, are parents more emotional when it's the first kid or the last kid?
So I think for the children, I call them the children, I guess they're not really children, to be prepared to be able to leave is also being planful. So laying out expectations. I think expectations around communication are really important. So how often are you connecting with mom and dad? I've seen parents even set standards around, well, when I text you, you have, you know, this many hours to text me back, or you're dead. No, I'm just kidding.
Are you guilty of that?
No, I would never, ever threaten my child. I'm a wonderful parent.
But seriously, text me back.
But seriously,
When I respond.
if it says red and I haven't heard from you, we have a problem. And then how often you'll have that phone call, right? And so this era of unlimited availability of your child, that probably is going to shift and change.
Right.
So having a plan for the kid and for you is going to be important there too.
I love that. Yeah.
Finding new ways to communicate also, I think, is really important. Remember how creative we were during the pandemic? We found all kinds of ways to stay connected. So maybe there's new ways to be connected to your child as well.
That's a good thought, too.
Yeah.
I love that.
But you asked me a second question.
Yeah.
Oh, about is it the oldest or the youngest?
I think the oldest is harder. I mean, research shows that the oldest is a little bit harder, but it's new. It's a new transition. So the next time you have to go through it, you're a little bit more practiced. Your kids have seen it. And then also it depends on the child, too. Everyone's a little bit different, you know. I couldn't wait to go to college.
Same.
You know?
Thrilled.
I couldn't wait.
When my brother went off to college, I was like, I'm an only child now. I loved it.
You loved it?
Yes. It was great.
That's funny.
Well, it's going to be happening soon. Parents are going to be taking their kids to college. We're, you know.
It's right around the corner.
It is, yeah, just in a couple of weeks.
Week.
Yeah.
Big transition, too.
Big transition.
Thank you.
Good luck, parents. All right. Dr. Getch, great to see you.
It's so good to see you, too.